This is your market recap for August 28th, 2025. Um, Today, as you can see, we had a smaller day as far as the daily volume goes. We had a pretty significant retrace to the downside, which that was overnight, which then helped us play bullish today. So if we go down to the hourly time frame, we can see that we were up here, right? This is where we left off yesterday trading, and I wanted to see us come back down here. Came a little lower than I thought. We went to this 1 hour inverse. Reason why it's an inverse is because we have this 1 hour sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, or a bearish fair value gap. We see it validated here once. Nice reactions here as well. So once we were coming down here with our bullish bias on the higher time frame, I was expecting us, higher time frame being the daily and the 4 hour time frame, I was expecting us to react somewhere off this, maybe even come down to equilibrium, where if we grade this whole range, equilibrium is right there, which is this orange line. So from there, dipped down, came up, took out this high, lunch retraced, took out this high over here. Kind of did not much for the rest of the day, and then something happened at some time close to 4 that made this candle, but that is after the fact, I believe, that the market's closed. Still can't tell from this, but we would not be trading at this time anyways. So, like I said, up here, retracing nicely to this hourly inverse fair value gap. We get that reaction nicely during the macro, expand upwards. Another 15-minute inverse fair value gap there. Reaction there validates it, so we come up above it, start consolidating. I expect this to hold it, and it does. Nice closures there. And then expand upwards to this high before retracing for that lunch retrace to this nice 15-minute fair value gap there. Of course, equilibrium's there as well. And then from there, we expand upwards once again, taking out this high, which was my final target for the day. And then from there, we started to come and break down. I was expecting us, well, I would be expecting us to, because I wasn't watching the markets at the time, come down here, some sort of retrace after taking out this high, especially with where those closures ended up. We didn't close above it, we closed under it after sweeping it, which tells me we're not looking to continue. So expecting a deeper retrace, we get that. And then I expected us to settle in the middle of the range of this, but then whatever happened here kind of messed that up. So down to the 5-minute. Once again, we see this sell side move pre-market nicely into this 1 hour inverse. During the macro, we get this expansion. We have this 5-minute inverse fair value gap there, which holds price very nicely. We then expand upwards. Again, profits were here and here for me today. You'll see on the 1 minute what that trade was. And then we consolidated for a little bit. Unfortunately, this is where I had to exit due to me being in class. But my profit did get hit up here. That was my final. So maybe I lost out on a couple hundred, but that's okay. It was just one of those classes where the professor didn't want to push it because it's the first week of class for me. Didn't want to push it with being on my phone because if this got hit, I would have had to cancel my stop order. And I also couldn't monitor the market at all. So better to just cancel it in profit. So like I said, took out this high once again, closed below it, but we swept it, telling us we're going to have a deeper retrace, come down below this low, nice 15-minute fair value gap there, expand upwards, 5-minute fair value gap here, price stops at nicely. Look at concentrate encroachment holding off price there, then expand upwards one more time. Again, taking out Friday's high. We then react off of it here, nicely rounding from there, coming down here, taking out all these lows that were created through there, reacting off of, can't exactly tell. Maybe it's concentrate encroachment this wick. Yeah, constant encroachment of this sell side wick, returning us back to this range where we should have ended, right in the middle of that range, but well, we did. We closed right there, and something happened at 420. Don't know what it was, but here we go. Here's a trade we took today. Again, we were playing bearish. We had this 1 hour fair value gap. We had daily and 4 hour confluence telling us to play bullish. We also had equilibrium here. Nice SMT of these lows right at equilibrium, expecting price to at least kick us up back into this hourly fair value gap. Entered off of the inverse fair value gap on the 15-second chart. Also during the macro, which just gave me that confidence to pull the trigger, despite not having a change in the state of delivery. We then expand upwards. Nice 1 minute fair value gap there, keeping price at bay. We then consolidate for a little bit, staying within this 5-minute inverse, and then finally expanding upwards out of that. Profit 1 was here. Profit 2 was this high, and like I mentioned, profit 3 was up here. However, I was in class, so I ended up getting out around, well, it was all the way over here, but it was somewhere in this consolidation. From there, and now I don't know really why we consolidated here, but this was actually a very nice. I mean, could it have been faster? Absolutely. But all things considered, with recent price action and whatnot, not a bad duration of a trade, right? We started during the macro, ended 9 minutes after it. Can't complain. Then consolidate from there. SMT of these lows. Lunch starts. We get another push up to here. Barely swept it, so we come fall back down. 15-minute fair value gap. Nicely reacted off the bottom of that. Expanded upwards. SMT of these lows within that 5-minute right at constant encroachment. Lunch ended. Expanded once again all the way up here. SMT of these lows. I don't think we have it. I think I checked that. I don't think we have it. This could have been a trade right here, targeting these highs. And no SMT of these highs. We took out that high once again, barely once, came back down off of it, closed below it, tried again, failed. So what does that tell us? We're not going up. We then come all the way down, taking out all this liquidity, like I mentioned. We stop here, constant encroachment of that 15-minute wick, expand upwards back into the range, and we end it there. So, yeah, pretty, not the nicest day, but considering the price action we've had this month, really not horrible. Now, higher time frame, we're in this range. We opened on Sunday here. Let's pull up the weekly. Yeah, we're not expanding this week. We've already it's Wednesday afternoon, right? We've already returned to where we opened, so I'm expecting more of this consolidation to continue into tomorrow and Friday. Kind of just the nature of how price has been moving. So all we can do is try and make sense of it and see what the market gives us. So I don't really have a bias for tomorrow as of now because we're in a range. So I'd have to say we're going to come down and then we're going to go up. But that could not happen. That could, so much can happen in a range. We could break out of the range. I don't know. But we'll have to see what happens between now and market open before we make any concrete decisions. But as of now, I got nothing. So this has been your market recap for August 28th, 2025.